All right, I'm back with part two of the oldest flat earth map ever recorded. This is the 1587 Urbano Monte map. This map is found inside of Stanford University, one of the most well-known and prestigious universities in the world. Now, in the middle of this map, you can see the six continents. You see North America, South America, Asia, Europe, Australia. But we have been told that Antarctica was just one landmass down below. But from this 1587 map, Antarctica is not just one small landmass, but an entire landmass that creates a circle around the other six continents. This 1587 Urbano Monte map is one of the most detailed and unique maps ever created, okay? Now, outside of these Antarctic circle, this Antarctic walls, this landmass, there are other civilizations of beings. There are other continents. There is more land that they are hiding from us. There are people and groups of species that are trying to free us from our perpetual slavery. This video is for entertainment purposes only. This is my conspiracy theory channel. Go do your own research. Nothing that I say here is factual. This is all opinion. Here we have a map called the Terra Infinita map. Go do some research on this map. I'm not saying that it's true, but it's quite odd that you see here you have a circle around the main continents that we have, and it is called the ice walls. Now, I just showed you the 1587 Urbano Monte map that is inside Stanford, and it showed Antarctica as a landmass that surrounds all of these continents. But this map here says today it is completely ice. We know that Antarctica is ice. So within the last 430 years, what happened and took place that it turned all of this Antarctic ice wall from a warm climate into an absolute cold and frozen climate? You see here on this map, there are other lands and other continents outside of this ice walls. Now, go do your research on Admiral Richard Byrd. He was a famous naval explorer. He was a very courageous man. He made several trips, not just one. He made several trips past the ice wall, and he spoke about what he saw. He also made several trips to the North Pole, where if you go read his diary, this is allegedly that he encountered a species of beings that took control of his plane and guided him in there, and he ended up going inside of inner Earth. There is a civilization inside of our Earth, and his species spoke to him, and they talked about the worries they had about up here in our use of weapons and our destructive ways. Go do some research on Admiral Richard Byrd and his diary and some of his explorations. It is really fascinating. Go check it out. A lot of people will get in the comments and they say that this is all fantasy, it's all made up, okay? But let me tell you what's not made up. This map right here, this map is not made up, okay? This is from 1587. There is nothing made up about this map. You can find it inside of Stanford. Now let's take a quick read of this article. It says here, this 60-sheet manuscript world map was made in 1587 by Urbano Monte It has been added to the David Rumsey collection at Stanford University. We all know that you have esoteric and then we have exoteric knowledge. We have knowledge that is released to the general public, and then we have knowledge that is released to those who are considered elite or of higher intelligence, or unless you read, okay? I'm just trying to bring in something to make you think. It says that this was hand drawn by Monty in Milan, Italy, and that in the 430 years since it was created, it is one of the most unique and advanced scientific ideals of its time. It says here in this article that it was completely unique for cartographic representation, meaning at the time for map making, it was outstanding. It said that this map was to not only serve as a geographical tool, judging location, but it also showed climate, the customs, the length of days, distance within regions. In other words, it created a universal scientific planisphere, meaning this map was a bad mamma jamma. It was a badass map. So go do some research on this map. It showed the climate. I just showed you the comparison from this map and the current Terra Infinitum map 430 years later, where you see a warm landmass, a tropical landmass surrounding our current day continents, and then you see an ice wall, which they now label as Antarctica. Here we have a picture of the Urbano Monti map. Let's take a closer look at some of the images on here. Here we have a picture of a seafaring vessel, and you can see this giant, only thing I could describe as a monster in the ocean. And I will have people in my comments come and they will say, oh, this is impossible, this is fantasy. You have not been in the ocean. We don't know what's in there. We know that the ocean has been explored less than 10%. We don't know what's down there. There are depths that we cannot even get to. So let's not say what's not possible and what's not in the ocean. Let's take another look. Here on this map, we see these half-human hybrids with the body of a man, but the tails or the half bodies of like a fish. The only thing I can describe as mermen. So the question is, all of the things that we were taught about growing up, were they really true? Did they really exist? Do they still exist? Have we been lied to and told that all of this is just fantasy and make-believe? Or did the people that came before us really write and draw and carved in stone what they see, what they knew, and what they most likely invented? Go do some research on this map. This is for entertainment purposes only. As you can see down here, you can see a picture of a griffin. A griffin is an animal that is part lion, part eagle, and has a tail. And this was a symbol of the past of Tartaria in the old world order. But they will tell you these animals never existed, but yet they exist in so many drawings, so many carvings, so many statues, and so many written histories. This is the same 1587 Urbano Monti map, where it looks like this is a pterodactyl or some type of flying bird. And if you look inside of its claws, you can see it is carrying an elephant. How big and how massive of a bird or some type of dinosaur, this is just 430 years ago, is carrying an elephant within its claws. I'm just here to drop some fire. I'm just here to drop some heaters. I'm just here to make you think. I'm going to come back with some more. I'm out.